Good evening, yogis. It is Wednesday, June 24th, and I believe it's 15 weeks now since we've been sequestered. And some businesses are opening. I guess this is called phase one opening. And yet, in some parts of the country, it seems like the pandemic is getting worse. And so we should still be very careful and mindful, protecting ourselves and protecting others. Anyway, let's get started with our practice, tonight's practice. And so take your seat, straighten your spine, and take a moment to notice if you feel comfortable in your seat. Make any adjustments that you need to feel comfortable. Let yourself settle in your surroundings, and if you had a busy day, take a moment to let that resolve so that we can bring ourselves into this space, into this present moment. Begin to deepen your breath, beginning with an exhale, drawing your navel in towards your spine, firmly drawing it in, pushing all the air out of your lungs. And then slowly we'll breathe in for 4 counts, a full breath, filling yourself up completely. And then again, slowly we exhale 4 counts, the circular breath. So moving your breath as if you're moving in a circle, and keep in mind that the circle is smooth. So smooth your breath out. As we move our breath in this way, begin to notice that your attention begins to shift inwards, perhaps becoming more aware of the sensations in your body. Noticing if you feel any gripping or tension in your muscles, and as you exhale, imagine you're letting this energy of squeezing in the muscles, the gripping, as if it's coming out of you. In the same way, like a balloon has pressure in it, it's reducing. As the balloon releases its pressure, it becomes softer, doesn't it? Softer and more pliable, more stretchy. Like the balloon, releasing this pressure of tension in the body. And in our practice of Hatha Yoga, the yoga of the body, we use the breath and create a condition of lightness and space in the body to then cultivate a condition of lightness and space in our minds. So the body and the breath are a foundation then for creating a state of mind that feels pleasant to be in. This feeling can be described as the bliss of yoga or yoga bliss. And even if you come to a time where you don't have time to engage in the asana practice itself, just sitting for a minute and working with your breath as we're doing now is very beneficial to you. To bring your consciousness into this present moment, to feel the life energy in your body, in your breath, the aliveness. And let's begin to move. Place your arms at your sides. Again, straighten your spine. And imagine you're trying to extend the crown of your head up toward the sky, creating a slight lift. Not exaggerating, but creating this feeling of upwards. And as you breathe in, let's extend the arms up. And you can even look up and stretch, lengthen the spine. And we exhale, lowering the arms, and we'll lower the chin toward the chest as well. And let's repeat. Just as we were moving the breath smoothly in a circular type breath, think of the movement of the body the same way. Smooth movements. Now we'll lift up the right arm and gently bend to your left into a side bend. And then move to the other side. Keep your attention on the movement of your body and on the breath. If you've been busy with thoughts during the day, this is a time for us to take our break and to be free of a kind of suffering, isn't it? Let's extend both arms up, and as you exhale, turn to your right, move into a twist as you wrap your arms across. And then face the front as you breathe in, extend the arms up and turn to the other side. Twisting the spine. Very good. Extend your arms up, and as you exhale, lower them down to the floor, and let's move on to our hands and knees, centering on your mat. Into 4 points. Take your tail and tuck it under just slightly. And stay here for a moment. As you breathe in, lift your chest. Imagine you're pulling your palms towards your knees as you lift the chest. But don't lift the chin. Keep the tail tucked under. And feel a slight lengthening around the center of your chest, in the heart center. And as you exhale, let it release. And let's try this again. Inhale. Keep the tail slightly tucked. Lift the chest. And now as we exhale, we'll move back into child's pose. Let's come back up, and again, keep the tail slightly tucked under. Lift the chest without lifting your chin. And as you exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine and move back into child's pose. Let's repeat this a few more times. Finally, let's remain in the child's pose, Balasana, and let yourself relax. Keep your attention on your breath, and with each exhale, let go. From here, we'll come back up into 4 points on our hands and knees and take your right foot and step it in between your hands. Ideally, in this shape, we want to create a straight line from our shoulder through the body down all the way to the knee on the floor. And to do that, as you breathe in, extend the crown of the head away, lengthening. And as we exhale, we're going to move back. Move back towards your rear heel, lifting the ball of the right foot off the floor, pressing the ball forward as you gently move back, keeping your waist towards your thigh. And then as you breathe in, let's move forward again. And slowly move back. So we want to feel a slight release in the hamstring here, in the hamstrings in that right leg. But not overdoing it. Coming just to a place where it feels a little nice, doesn't it? To feel a little bit of tension releasing. And one thing to observe is that whether with each cycle we might be moving just a little bit more into this or not, without forcing. We don't want to force anything here. Let's come back into the hurdler shape, and we'll stay for a moment. And then come forward and tuck your left foot under to lift the knee off the floor. This brings us into our low lunge. From here, we'll take the right foot and step back into downward facing dog. We'll start out at least with the knees bent and working on and focusing on reaching your bottom away toward the wall that's behind you. So this reaching away straightens the spine and also lengthens the spine. So we want to feel lengthening of the spine here. Continue firmly drawing your navel in toward your spine as you exhale. And let's come back onto the knees so we can move to the other side. Now we'll step the left foot forward into our low lunge variation. And as you breathe in, extend the crown of the head away. And as we exhale, we'll slowly move back into that hurdler shape. Again, we can play with the fact or play with this movement to notice that if with each cycle we can move a little bit deeper. And it might be that one side works a little bit deeper than the other. That's something to observe as well. See how your body is. Let's take a moment and then come forward. Tucking the right foot under, lift the knee off the floor as you did before, and move into our low lunge. Stay for a moment here. And we'll step back into our downward facing dog once more. Just as you did before, reaching your bottom away and lengthening the spine. Begin to pedal your heels slowly. Here we can feel the release in the calf muscles. And again, we're not working to overdo anything. Just a pleasant feeling to release tension in the body through the asana practice. And finally come to a stop. Again, reach the bottom away and create that sensation of lengthening of your spine. Now we'll step forward with the right foot directly into our low lunge. Once there, pivot your left heel so it comes to the floor and rise up. Place your hands on your sides and adjust where your feet touch the ground so your pelvis is facing the direction that you're facing. So you're not turned to one side or the other. We need to make sure that the hips are square. Take your right arm behind you with the palm facing away. Lift your right shoulder up. Roll it up and roll it back and feel a release along the pectoral muscles, the chest here in the right side. And as you draw the breath in, float your left arm up. We're going to extend away. Let's come halfway first, just until the back is flat like a table. So we exhale as we come here. And then as you breathe in, try to lengthen by extending the crown of the head away. Then as you exhale, continue down into the pyramid shape. Come up halfway. Again, straighten and lengthen. Then fold again. Come up halfway, straighten. After straightening, continue up. Let's repeat this cycle. So we extend the crown of the head away, lengthening the spine. This time we'll move through into our pyramid shape. Then we'll come up halfway as we breathe in. Fold again as you exhale. And then begin to straighten and rise up. Let's take 2 more cycles. Moving slowly and smoothly. And once more. Now, as you rise up, we'll extend both of our arms. And again, we extend and fold into our pyramid shape where we'll stay. Parsvottanasana. As you remain here, you can take your left hip and turn it toward the front, the right hip toward the back. So again, we can square the hips. Firmly draw your navel in towards your spine as you exhale. And here, as we experienced in the hurdler shape that we were in a moment ago, we simply want to relax and release tension in the hamstrings. We want to feel our waist against our thigh so that we're properly hinging at our hip and not putting any stress in the lower back. This is not a stretch for the lower back. This is for the hamstrings in the extended leg. Let's step back into our downward facing dog. And here, take a moment to notice if the right side of your body feels different from your left. We were just in an asymmetric shape, and so the effect of the shape, one might expect that it has an asymmetric effect, and so notice how that is in you. What do you feel? And we'll proceed to the other side, stepping the left foot between the hands into low lunge, pivoting the right foot, and again rising up. So again, we need to place our hands on our sides, squaring our hips. Notice there's a turning type of squaring, but there's also a tilting type of squaring. So we want the pelvis to be facing the wall that we're facing, but not tilted. Notice how that is. Here we'll take the left arm behind, lift the left shoulder, lift it, roll it back. Feel the pectoral muscles release in your chest. Should feel good. And now the right arm floats up as we breathe in. We'll come halfway first. And at first we'll stay. And as you breathe in, extend the crown of the head away, again lengthening, and then folding into the pyramid. Coming up halfway, folding again. Rising up, halfway straightening, then continuing up. And let's continue. Lengthen, extend the crown of the head away. Slowly fold into the pyramid as you exhale. Rise up halfway as you breathe in. Again, fold as you exhale. Now, rising up. 2 more cycles. Extending as you fold, lengthening the spine. Coming up halfway. Folding. Halfway and then continuing up. Once more. Very good. Extending both arms away, we'll prepare to stay. Take your time. Extend and lengthen the spine as you fold. And remain. Here the left hip draws toward the back, the right hip comes forward, squaring the hips, firmly drawing the navel in toward the spine. Notice if you feel like you're tensing up as you stay here. Instead, what we're looking for is to relax. The relaxing, the release happens with your exhale. Notice if you're exhaling completely or not, firmly drawing your navel in toward your spine. And notice how when you exhale more completely, there's more of a release.
Let's step back into our downward facing dog. Now, again, check out the sensations of your body. Is there more of a balance than there was last time when we had an asymmetric release? Notice how that feels. Part of our practice is to be able to tune in with the sensations of our body and to be able to recognize and feel what the body's doing, how it feels. Where is that gripping or tension that you have in your body? And many of us carry it in different places. Let's come into plank. And here we'll remain for a moment. So the plank is a piece of wood, a long piece of wood, kind of like walking the plank on a pirate ship. It sticks out long and straight. And here, this is what we're looking for here. A straightness from the crown of the head all the way to your heels. Now, we're not doing a whole lot here. We're just staying in one place. And yet, there's work in the abdominal region of the body to hold us. Try tucking your pelvis under. Squeeze your legs toward each other. Take a breath in, and let's lower down. All the way to the floor. Lift your right leg, reach it back, lift your left leg, reach it back, squeeze your legs together, and tuck your pelvis under and hold it there. Rise up onto your forearms, with your elbows more or less under your shoulders. Now, as we were doing before in 4 points, as you breathe in, lift your chest. Keep the pelvis tucked under. The same sensation of lengthening in the heart center. There's a pulling from your elbows towards your hips as you rise up. And then release it. And on the next cycle, we'll bend the right knee as we lift the chest. Flex the heel. Draw your heel in towards your bottom. Feel a release in your lower abs, down on the right side where you're bending your knee, just below your belly button. Now the left side. This release that we're feeling is the psoas muscle. What does it feel like, the psoas? Again, we want to be able to feel the muscles in our body. Noticing that there was tension in the psoas muscle on each side, one on each side. And as we move in this way, there's a little bit of a release of it. A tension was there that we were unaware of, isn't it? And now we become aware of it, and we can release it. Good. Let's try bending both knees, and we'll feel that pulling sensation and be down below the belly button on both sides. See how that feels. Now we'll prepare for the cobra. Lower down and place your palms on the floor next either side of your chest. Draw your elbows against your sides. Again, tuck the pelvis under, squeeze your legs together, and we'll rise into our cobra shape. Now, we want to again feel that release on the heart center and the front side of the body. And just as we were doing earlier, first in the 4 points, we were practicing that. Then we experienced it in the shape before called Sphinx. And each of these became a little bit deeper. So this one would be deeper than the one before. And what we may realize is that there was a sequence that we went through so we could prepare ourselves for this one, which is deeper. Let's take one more cycle. Now, rise up onto your hands and knees and sit back into your heels, moving once more into the child's pose. And let's stay. Continue to firmly draw your navel in toward your spine. Very good. Let's rise up onto the hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and press back into down dog. Step your left foot forward into low lunge, then follow with your right foot. Place your hands on your thighs and help yourself rise up. Standing at the front of your mat in mountain. The mountain is an active shape, different from just standing around. We want to squeeze the ankles toward each other, tuck the pelvis under, press the back of the thighs away toward the back wall behind you. As you exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine. Feel the whole bottom part of your body becoming firm and stable. Now, as you breathe in, we want to create that spinal extension. As we breathe in, we try to reach the crown of the head toward the sky. So we create a spinal extension in the standing up position called Mountain Tadasana. The palms face the front. Draw your fingers back so you can feel the palms opening. And bring your attention to your heart center and notice if you feel a connection between the palms of your hands and here in the heart. From here, we'll step the feet apart and come into a straddle. The straddle should be fairly wide so that if you extend your arms out and turn your fingers to point down, they're more or less pointing at your feet. Let's take our hands behind our thighs and slowly slide them down the back of your legs so we can fold forward in this straddle position. Slowly come down and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Let your head hang toward the floor and feel the gravity just simply releasing as you relax into the shape. This time the spinal extension is happening simply by relaxing. If you feel that it's right for you, you can sway a little bit. A spinal release simply by relaxing and creating space between each of the vertebrae in the spine to release any compression that we had built up during the day in the soft tissues in between the bones of the spine. And it should feel good. From here, come up to your fingertips and come into a half bend as you lift the chest. Instead of lifting your chin, keep the chin tucked and use your fingertips to pull or reach the crown of your head away, creating a spinal extension, squeezing your ankles toward each other. And then as we exhale, we'll fold again. Let's come up halfway and fold. Come up halfway and stay for a moment, straightening the spine, and see if you can take your hands off the floor. You can either reach the arms directly behind you or out to the sides like an airplane. Decide what's right for you. Staying for a moment. To rise up, feel your heels against the floor and push from your heels up, feeling the backside of your body lifting you up. And we come back upright in this straddle position. From here, bring your feet closer together. This time, the heels are underneath your hips. Standing once more in the mountain, and we'll fold forward in this position. Take your hands behind your thighs. Slide them down the back of your legs and fold forward. I want you to bend your knees enough so you can feel your belly resting against your thighs. This will again ensure that you're hinging at your hips and not putting any strain in your lower back. Squeeze your ankles toward each other. Feel how that activates the midline of your body. And we'll try coming into a half bend. You can come up to your fingertips, lifting the chest, and as we did in the straddle, imagine you're trying to pull yourself away, lengthening the spine, reaching the crown of the head away as you breathe in. Extending the spine, and then exhaling back into the forward bend. Let's come up halfway again. Exhale into the forward bend. Come up halfway. Exhale into the forward bend. Now, bend your knees. Imagine you're trying to sit in a very low stool, like a kindergarten chair. And keeping the knees bent, rise up into the chair shape, Utkatasana. Keeping the knees bent, let yourself fold. Repeat the cycle. Up into the chair shape, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Rise into chair. Exhale, fold. This time we'll stay in chair, just for a few breaths. Firmly draw your navel in towards your spine as you exhale. And as you inhale, expand your chest. The next breath in, rise up and lower your arms, and we come back into our mountain shape. Interlink your fingers in front and turn your palms to face away, straightening the arms. As you breathe in, lift your arms up on either side of your ears and exhale. As you do this, make sure you're not arching your lower back. Keep the pelvis tucked under. And finally, stay for a moment with the arms extended upwards. Firmly draw your navel in towards your spine as you exhale. Let's release the fingers and lower the arms to our sides. Coming back into mountain. Very nice. So standing at the front of the mat, we'll prepare for a sun salutation. Extend the arms up as you breathe in. Soften your knees as you exhale, sliding the hands down the back of the legs into your forward bend, Uttanasana. Come up into half forward bend as you breathe in, and step back into your downward facing dog. Now we'll lift the right leg, just until the leg is parallel with the floor. So the heel should be about the height of your hip, not any higher than that. Flex the heel and reach it away. Feel how that action is lengthening your spine, and feel your left heel lowering towards your mat. Now, without turning your foot sideways, keep an internal rotation of the thigh. Lift it a little higher as you breathe in. And as you exhale, let's step between the hands into our low lunge. From here, we rise into high lunge. Very good. As you exhale, let's come part way down. Try to stay for a moment and extend. Then lower your hands to the floor. And as you breathe in, extend the right arm up and come into a twist. As you come into this twist, make sure your right knee isn't popping to the outside. Keep it drawn toward the center and turn your gaze toward the sky. As you exhale, draw the navel in and twist it toward the sky in the direction of your turn. Let's lower the arm down and step back into our down dog. And stay for a moment. Now, we'll lift the left leg, just as you did before, until the leg is parallel with the floor. Flex the heel, reach it away. Look back at your foot and make sure it's not turning sideways. Internally rotate the thigh so the toes are pointing straight down. Lift a little higher as you breathe in. Draw the knee into the chest, stepping between the hands into low lunge, rising into high lunge. As we descend, we'll come halfway and see if you can linger for a moment. Lower the hands down and extend your left arm up, turning your gaze toward the sky. And as we did before, draw the navel in and twist it toward the sky. Lower the hand down and step back into your down dog. Come forward into your plank as you breathe in and lower to your mat. Pointing your toes, rise into cobra and press back into down dog. We'll stay here for a few cycles of breath. Again, we're trying to lengthen the spine by reaching the tail away, firmly drawing the navel in towards your spine with each exhale. Step your right foot between your hands and follow with your left foot. Lift the chest into half bend. Fold as you exhale. And let's rise up, extending the arms up to the sky, lowering them to your sides, standing in mountain. Very good. Our next cycle will involve the Warrior One. Extend the arms up as you draw the breath in. Soften your knees as you exhale and fold forward. Rise into half bend and step back into your down dog. Raise the right leg. This time bend your knee and try to turn it to face the sky. Hold it for a moment here, feeling the left heel descending towards your mat. And as you exhale, draw the knee into your chest and step between the hands. This time we'll pivot the left heel, rising into Warrior One. As you exhale, move out of the shape by straightening the leg and lowering your arms. And as you inhale, move back into it. Let's continue with this, moving slowly, following your breath. And as you move into the shape, notice if the outer edge of your left foot, the one that's behind you, is curling off the floor. Press the little toe of your left foot down into your mat and feel the outer edge of your left foot making a firm contact with the earth. Very good. Now we'll stay in Warrior One. Take your arms behind you and interlink the fingers. Lift the shoulders and expand the chest. As you breathe in, expand the chest. And as you exhale, firmly draw your navel in towards your spine. Release the hands or the fingers and extend the arms up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, again, move out of the shape. We'll be moving into our pyramid shape as we did before. And from there, we'll come into a twist called the revolved triangle. Extend yourself and fold into your pyramid, then lift the chest as if you're coming into a half bend. Take your left hand and place it either next to your big toe, or some of us might want to place it on the little toe side of that right foot. With the spine in a straight line, horizontal, parallel with the floor, we'll float the right arm up and come into our twist. And as before, as you exhale, draw the navel in and twist it toward the sky. Lowering the hand down, step back into your downward facing dog. Now, lift your left leg up, bend the knee, and turn it toward the sky. Hold it for a moment here. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, step in between your hands, pivoting the right heel and preparing for Warrior One. As you breathe in, the arms float up. As you exhale, move out of the shape. Inhale into Warrior One. Exhale, moving out. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, move out. This time, prepare to stay. We'll take our arms behind you, and when you interlace your fingers, interlace them in the opposite way that you did before. So the index finger that was in front before is behind the other one. Expand the chest as you draw the breath in. Firmly draw the navel in toward the spine as you exhale. Release the fingers, extend the arms up as you breathe in, and as you exhale, move out of the shape. prepare for pyramid. Lengthen and fold into pyramid. Rise up halfway as you did in a half forward bend. And this time we'll take the right hand either next to the big toe or crossing it to the little toe side. As the left arm extends up, we turn into our twist, the revolved triangle. Lower the arm and step back into your downward facing dog. We'll prepare for a shape called four-limb stick. Here we'll be bending our elbows in the four-limb stick but not coming to the floor. So you can choose the full plank or you can choose a half plank with your knees on the floor. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, move forward as you bend your elbows. This is our four-limb stick. As you inhale, tuck the pelvis under and lift the chest into up dog, and then press back into down dog. Repeat the cycle into plank or half plank with your knees on the floor, exhaling into four-limb stick, rising into up dog, exhaling into down dog. Once more. Plank, four-limb stick, up dog, and down dog. We'll stay for a few cycles of breath. Notice here if the down dog feels deeper than it did before for you. As we release tension in the body feels warmer, freer. From here, gaze between your hands, and as you draw the breath in, walk towards your hands and lift the chest into half bend. Exhale and fold. Then prepare for chair. Bend the knees. Rise into chair as you breathe in. Stay as you exhale. Then continue up and lower your arms to your sides. And we come once more into our mountain. Tadasana. Take a moment here to notice sensation. We'll try a balance called tree. First, you may step off of your mat onto a hard surface if you find that to be better. It could be better if the mat is kind of squishy, makes it harder to balance. Spread your toes wide apart and press your little toes down into the floor. They're very important for the balance. So it's not just the big toe, but all the toes working together. Bring your palms together and see if you can float your left foot off the floor, finding your balance. Opening the knee to the side, you can gently touch the inner thigh. So we're not pushing hard against it, it's a gentle touch. Then you can grow your branches, the arms floating up. When you're ready, lower the foot down and take another moment to adjust. Let's prepare for the other side. Remembering to spread the toes apart, pressing your little toes in the floor, and bringing your palms together. Floating the other foot off the floor, finding your balance, and then opening the knee as you did before, and growing your branches. When you're ready, step down and take a moment to adjust again. Preparing for the Warrior Two sequence, stand at the front of your mat. We'll move into the chair as we draw the breath in, bending the knees and floating the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. Rise into half bend and step back into your down dog as you exhale. Let's raise the left leg up as we breathe in, internally rotating the thigh as we practiced before. And as you exhale, step between your hands, pivoting the right heel. Now we'll take the right arm and reach it forward. And as you breathe in, swing it up to the sky and back behind you. Now we open, gazing forward. Here, as you exhale, draw the navel in and twist it toward the wall behind you. And as you breathe in, broaden your shoulders by reaching the arms apart and extend the crown of your head toward the sky. Warrior two. Let's straighten the left leg and extend the left arm up. From here, we'll extend the arms apart. This time the leg is straight, but the knee is not locked, it's soft. And we'll begin to take our fingers and reach them away. So we want to create a hinge. Imagine you're holding a pizza in each palm, or a tray of food, so the palms are facing up as you reach away. Then we'll lower the left arm down as the right arm extends up, and we come into our triangle. Keep in mind in this triangle, what often happens is we're kind of crunching this left side of the body. And what you want to do instead, you can have your hand up closer to the knee to make it more helpful, but we actually want to stretch and lengthen this. So imagine you're breathing into this left side and lengthening it. And in that way, we create balance in both sides of the body, so we're not crunching straight spine. Once the spine is straight and we have proper alignment, as the tension releases in the body, we might move a little closer to the ground, maybe traveling down the shin a bit, but not sacrificing the alignment in the spine in order to move closer down. Lowering your right arm to your side, bend your left knee and come up again. This is our reverse warrior. From here, take your forearm and lean against your thigh. The right hand on your side, see if you can scoot the right foot a little further back to come deeper into this lunge. Then we'll take the right arm up and over, and we come into our extended side angle. Stay for a moment. Then lower the hand down and prepare to step back into down dog. Very good. Let's prepare for the other side. Raise the right leg. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Step between the hands, pivoting the left heel. Foot is on the floor. Extend your left arm out and reach it up and back behind you. Palms facing the sky, moving into warrior two. Now, straighten the right leg, but don't lock the knee. Float the right arm up. And from here, we begin to extend, palms facing the sky, just as we did before. Again, we want to create length, this time in the right side, the side that's closer toward the floor. So reach it out, create the length, and then simply lower the arm as you extend the left arm up. Turn your gaze toward the sky. Notice if you feel any trembling. Smooth your breath out. Let yourself be at ease and be still. Lowering the left arm, bend the right knee, rising into reverse warrior. Then, placing the forearm on the thigh, you can scoot the left foot back maybe an inch more to come deeper into the lunge. Then the left arm is up and over into our extended side angle. Lowering the hand down, let's step back into our down dog. From here, child's pose. Lower onto your knees and sit back into your heels, and let's stay. Let's rise up, and we'll cross the ankles to sit with the legs crossed in easy pose. Straighten the spine and take a moment to stay. Then we'll take this, your left leg, and we'll extend it out at a 45-degree angle. The other one, the knee is bent. And as you do this, make sure your foot isn't turning to the outside. Internally rotate the foot. And here, what we want to do is simply hinge at the hips. We're not bending in the spine. Imagine you're reaching your heart out toward me and hinge at your hips. Don't worry about how far down you're coming. Just come to a place where you can properly hinge at your hips without bending your back, thinking more about lengthening the spine, and you'll feel a release around this leg, on this inner thigh, just until it feels good. And we'll come up and we'll switch sides. So again, internal rotation of your right leg, and then we gently hinge at the hips. Smooth your breath out. Notice the smoothness, the quality of the cycle of your breath. When the breath is smooth and soft and long, is there a relationship to that in the quality of your asana, the shape? Notice that. And then let's come up. And let's try extending both legs forward. Take your hands, one hand at a time, and pull the flesh of your bottom back to expose your sits bones, and straighten your spine to come into staff pose. Extend the arms up. We're going to again hinge at our hips as we did before. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to so you can lengthen the spine as if you're reaching away and gently folding into a seated forward bend. And then we'll rise back up. Now, some of us, the hands will gently rest on the toes. Some of us, it might come on the shins or on the floor on either side of your legs. But find where your hands can go. Avoid pulling yourself into the shape with your hands. We want to avoid that because that will strain the lower back. Let's take one more cycle. Gently stay for a few breaths. Let's rise up and lower your arms to your sides. From here, we're going to slide the hands back and come into a reverse plank. Simply lift your bottom off the floor and try to straighten. Then lower yourself back down and come back into your staff pose and prepare to twist, a seated twist. Bend your left knee and draw the heel in. Once you have the heel drawn in, the knee bent, straighten your spine. From there, we'll cross the foot. When the foot crosses, often there's the inner side of the foot comes off the floor. We want to try to bring the foot flat against the ground in this shape. You might even take your hand and pull your belly across that thigh if it feels like it's getting stuck. The other leg can stay as it is, or you can make this more fancy by bending the knee. Do what feels best for you. Now we'll come into our twist. Extend your left arm up, and as you exhale, bring it around behind you. Then as you inhale, extend the right arm up. And then as you exhale, either place your hand against your thigh on the outside of it, or you can choose to cross your elbow, turning your head to look over your shoulder. and coming into our seated twist. With each exhale, draw the navel in and twist it in the direction of your turn. With each inhale, extend the crown of the head toward the sky and create that spinal extension. And let's unwind ourselves and move back into the staff pose, extending the legs, the body in the shape of a letter L. Now it's the other leg. It should be your right leg. Since I'm facing you, it's my left. I'm mirroring you. And we'll take the foot as we did before and cross it, making sure that the foot is flat on the floor. Other leg either remains as it is, or choose to bend your knee if you prefer. Extend the right arm up as you breathe in, and as you exhale, bring it behind you. As you breathe in, extend the left arm up and lengthen and stretch the spine. And as you exhale, either on the outer thigh or crossing the elbow and turning your head to look over your shoulder. And again, we'll churn the navel center. As you exhale, draw it in and turn it in the direction of your turn. Keep in mind that we're not using the arms to force this twist. The arms are just gently holding us in place, and the twist comes from the core of the body, from the navel center, that whole twisting action of the navel center. Arms gently keeping us in position. Let's unwind. Extend your legs back into the staff pose, then bring your feet together and wrap your fingers around your toes. The bound angle. Some people call this butterfly. And you can gently flutter your wings, gently straightening the spine. Good. Let's come onto our backs now with the knees bent and prepare to move in and out of bridge shape. Rest the back of your head on your mat and draw your heels in toward your bottom. The feet should be hip distance apart, so they're not too wide, not too close, hip distance apart, and parallel with each other. Palms are on the floor, arms are straight, and as you breathe in, lift your hips up. Come onto your shoulders, but at the same time, take your arms up and back behind you. Lift into bridge as you breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to roll down the spine. Imagine the bones of your spine, the vertebrae. Try to bring one down at a time, rolling smoothly down as you lower your arms back to the floor at your sides. And repeat, rising up into bridge. And then carefully and smoothly rolling down the spine. Once more. After completing the third cycle, leave your arms on the floor at your sides and lift up and externally rotate the arms, rolling them outside. And if you can, linking your fingers underneath you to stay in the bridge shape. Breathe deep into the heart center. Release the chest area. Release your fingers and roll down the spine. Very good. Draw your knees into your chest and begin to rock. Rolling like a ball, or rocking like a ball. And let's rock up. Draw the knees into your chest, straighten the spine, then cross your ankles. And let's come onto our hands and knees. Centering on your mat into 4 points. From here, simply rise up on your knees.
we'll take both arms behind us, stacking one palm on top of the other, lifting the shoulders, rolling the chest open, straightening the spine. With your left arm, as you breathe in, lift it up and slowly come down. As you exhale, coming down, turn your gaze to the right, away from the extended arm, bringing your left temple down towards your mat. And then as you breathe in, rising back up and lowering your arm. Let's try the other side. The right arm up as you breathe in. Slowly come down. This time turning your gaze to the left, away from that extended arm, and bringing your right temple towards your mat. Let's come back up, lowering the right arm, and let's repeat each side. Left arm up, slowly coming down, turning your gaze to the right. Let's rise back up, and then the right arm. Extend it up, turning your gaze to the left. Rising back up, lowering the arms. Now both reach up. And let's come down again, this time with both arms extended. And see if you can rise back up with both arms extended. A challenge. Coming down once more. This time into child's pose and staying for a few breaths. Up onto the hands and knees as you breathe in, exhale into down dog. Coming into plank as you breathe in and lowering to your mat as you exhale. And then we'll roll onto our backs. From here, let's draw the knees into the chest with the back of your head resting on your mat, rocking side to side, massaging your back. Come to the center and stop and prepare to twist. With the knees bent, let them turn to the right. And turn your gaze to the left with the left arm extended away. And begin to draw the navel in as you exhale and twist it toward the sky, as we've been practicing with our twists. Coming back to the center, let's move over to the other side now to twist the other way. And take your time and stay for a moment. Again, churning the navel center, drawing it in and twisting it toward the sky as you exhale. Coming back to the center, this time, tuck and try to touch your forehead towards your knees. When you're ready, release it and stretch your legs out, reach your arms over your head, and take a few deep breaths and stretch and lengthen your spine. I like to lift one heel off the floor, reach it away, then the other heel, reach it away, lengthening the spine, tucking the pelvis under. Finally, with your arms at your sides, closing your eyes and resting for Shavasana. As you stay for a short time here, I will play one of my gongs for you. Atlantis gong has a sound of earthy kind of sound, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Simply relax and let go with each exhale. Please begin to wiggle your fingers and toes around and deepen your breath. Wiggle your legs and your arms, your shoulders and hips. And from here, roll onto your left side and slowly make your way up, taking your time. Sitting with the legs crossed as we were at the start. Once you're up and seated, close your eyes, straighten your spine. And let's come back to that balanced breath we started with. And notice if the quality of the breath is different. Is it more smooth? notice the quality of the state of your mind? Is that also lighter, freer? The body, the breath, the mind, the city of the soul. And let's lower our chin. Slowly open your eyes up. Bringing your palms together at your heart center. Please join me with 3 ohms to complete our practice this evening. Exhale out completely and draw the breath in. Have a beautiful and relaxing evening. Good sleep. Thanks for practicing together.